Riding with the Rabbi.
Hello everyone, we're riding with the Rabbi, though neither of us is driving. I'm in a taxi with my good friend Itzik. We're here in Israel, we're in the south of Israel. I could tell you where we are, but it's a closed military zone, but then I get in a lot of trouble. But I have the tremendous chus to be with Rav David Stav, who, by the way, will be visiting us in a time on November 11th, Parshas Chayesara. So you're going to want to mark your calendars for that date, a very, very important Shabbos. And I've had this chus to, since I landed in Israel a few hours ago, we've been hitting the road, making all sorts of chesed deliveries. But for those who don't know, Rav Stav is the Rav of a city called Shoham, which is close to Ben Gurion Airport. And also, Rav Stav is the founder and head of an organization called Tzohar, which we're going to hear a lot about. So, good day, Rav Stav. Thank you for spending time with us today. I would love to hear, like, what have you been up to since the war broke out?
Well, first of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share with you a few of our experiences. I would like to divide it between Tzohar and Shoham. As a city rabbi, we had three boys that were killed. Two are soldiers that actually sacrificed their lives to defend the borders of Israel, and one of the boys that was taking part in the music festival. One girl was kidnapped. She's now, by the way, her film was broadcasted all over the world.
No.
So I guess you have seen her. She's from Shoham.
Right.
So our job as a rabbi is to support the families, and they need a lot of not halachic consultants, but spiritual support. I mean, and rabbis are the ones that are expected to provide this support. So I keep on visiting these families since the day the war broke out. I escorted them until the bodies were brought to. Just a minute, אנחנו נצטרך לעצור את זה. הרב שי, כן.
We work in real time here. This isn't staged.
Yeah.
So we had the opportunity to visit the south today.
לא נכון.
Make deliveries and to visit with soldiers, hand delivering the letters from our kids in our shul to the soldiers, which was incredibly meaningful for them. And thank you to Miriam and Jacob for making that happen. It goes a really, really long way in building morale, I have to tell you. And just seeing the organization of the chesed campaigns of people, how they're getting items that are needed to units or to people in need, or just
I want to share with you the story that I just now I'm switching jobs from Shoham to Tzohar. Tzohar is registering and marrying thousands of Israeli couples. Now the former Minister of Education called me and asked me to do him a favor. Tzohar was performing a wedding for a couple 6 weeks ago, before the war broke out. The husband got killed as a soldier. He got killed now. And now they don't find the documents to approve, to confirm that he got married, because it has a lot of consequences. And he urges me to find the documents from Tzohar. So that's just an example of issues that we deal with. Terrible tragedy. If I complete the job as a Shoham rabbi, a few of our kids were injured, observant, non-observant, doesn't make difference, and I have to visit them. By the way, now with Rabbi Klibanov, we are in the middle of visits, and one of the visits will be in one of my community's injured soldiers, belongs to one of the elite units that actually literally sacrificed his life to save tens of residents in kibbutz Re'im, and eventually got injured. What is Tzohar doing? Actually, Tzohar has its ongoing projects that keep on working, and it changes from day to day because we have to deal with thousands of couples that those who want to postpone their weddings, those who want to make their wedding earlier, those who want to switch places, but that's a regular project. But as a result of the big tragedy, we're talking about more than 1,400 people that were killed. Many of them have no clue about Jewish customs. Many of them don't know how to sit Shiva and how to do and what to say. So we opened a new project, which is Morning Avelim. We help the families to run the Shiva rituals. We accepted upon ourselves to recite Kaddish after each one of the people that will be asked to do that, because many do not have kids. Many are secular, especially from the kibbutzim, and they have no one that knows how to say the Kaddish and maybe don't want to say the Kaddish. So we took it upon ourselves, and along with many other missions, tomorrow I have to visit a group of people that in the last 2 weeks had to identify all the sacrifices that many of them have been exposed to pictures and to scenes that they will never forget. Just last night, one of them was sent to the hospital, and a few others are under psychological therapy, and I was asked to come to talk to them tomorrow morning to give them chizuk, to strengthen them.
Is that all done in what is it called, Abu Kabir?
No, Abu Kabir does not exist now. It's only for criminal issues. Here we're talking about terror attacks, and it's all done in a place called Shura. Shura is a basis of the army, belongs to the rabbinate and to the resources department of the chaplain of the army, and the men resources power, and over there it's the entire work that is done there, and I guess I'll be there tomorrow morning.
Have there been any good things happening? I mean, we could never hear at the end of all the sad and horrific and just, I mean, even the shiva we went to this morning, it was just, it's heartbreaking. But surely there has to be something positive. We have smachot.
Yeah. First of all, we have a lot of smachot, and that's something which is very positive. But to be deeper, I think what we discovered in the last 2 weeks is the depth of the solidarity of the Jewish people. I mean, we have to remember where we were just 2.5 weeks ago. 2.5 weeks ago, we were fighting about, that's from the army now, Haredi soldiers. Ken Aaron.
I'm lucky to get the time.
Ken.
But we went to a very heartbreaking shiva this morning, which I'll tell you about more at a different time. We're in the middle of seems like it's a security roadblock here.
That's now a request from the paratroops unit basis to come to talk to them. So a lot of we were busy 2.5 weeks ago with one question: would there be a mechitza separation between men and women in Tel Aviv or not? The entire country went nuts about this issue. People said to each other, "You are not my brother. I don't feel nothing to you." People were talking about the option of establishing two states, Judea and Israelite state. All of a sudden, we discovered that we are one. Maybe we have a lot of nuances, a lot of differences, but our enemy doesn't distinguish between them. And you know the stories, maybe when I will come to Livingstone, I will share with you a few of them. The stories of solidarity, how settlers went out from their settlements to save kibbutznikim and vice versa. No distinction between observant and non-observant, left and right. All of a sudden we discovered our brotherhood that was forgotten in the last 10 months, maybe in the last few decades, but especially in the last 10 months. And I think that's the good thing that we discovered in the last 2 weeks. Solidarity between Israelis, Jewish Israelis, but solidarity also with American Jewry. I mean, in the last couple of years there was a lot of criticism that I don't want to hide and to cover and to ignore. But all of a sudden American Jewry discovered also the brotherhood with the State of Israel. Even those who felt that they need always to criticize what's going on in Israel, and there were a lot of reasons to criticize, discovered that despite all the reasons, the common denominator is much greater and much bigger, especially when we know what is the ambition and what is the desire of our enemies from the Hamas, to destroy every Jew, to kill every Jew. Doesn't matter if he's left wing or right wing. It's hard to believe that those who were taken, were kidnapped and killed from the kibbutzim, a few of them were those who used to take every Friday Palestinians from Gaza to Israel to give them health care, to treat them in the hospitals. And these were the first ones to be murdered and to be kidnapped, which means our enemy doesn't distinguish between our Jews, whether they are settlers or kibbutznikim, left or right, religious or not religious. They don't really care.
So how do you suggest we maintain this solidarity when this is all over, hopefully b'me'era?
I think that's the deepest challenge, because we know already that the political swords are already taken out from their pockets, and it's not going to be easy. We will have to remind ourselves. I think that's the biggest mission of Tzohar in the next couple of months, to remind ourselves our common denominator, our common values, our common destiny, and to explain and to remind ourselves that despite the nuances are on the surface. In the depth, we all belong to the same mission. We all are the nation of Abraham that is supposed to represent morality, that is supposed to represent values of good versus the values of evil and brutality that the Hamas and its allies are representing. It's going to be a very tough mission, because we know the Jews have a very, very short memory, and we are used to forget the troubles and the challenges that we experienced, and we will have to confront with this challenge.
It's a lot of work. So what advice do you have specifically for us in the diaspora? Words of hope, or just good advice what we should be doing now, or how we should be thinking about
First
the
of all,
situation?
pray. And I don't want to undermine the prayer of every man and woman, of every boy and girl. It's exciting when I get pictures and I show it to my colleagues from communities that gather to daven. It's exciting everybody. And I asked Rabbi Klibanov when he arrived, I spoke to him several times, and one of the conversations, I asked him, please bring letters from kids. And I guess he asked himself, soldiers that we have just seen them, they need letters from kids, and the answer is yes. To think that kids all over the world think about you and care about you. So that's one thing. You have relatives in Israel, please make a phone call. Show that you care. Show that you are concerned. Call them, ask for their health, ask for what they need. And they don't need nothing. They need only attention, only to see the feeling of arevut, of responsibility, of connection. I think that's the most important thing. In addition to that, whoever could come and visit, and despite the massacre, the disaster that we experienced, Besach HaKol, after the shock that we were shocked, Baruch Hashem, relatively Israel is a safe place, and I think Rabbi Klibanov, since he arrived, and he goes everywhere, and asked him, are you sure you're not afraid, you're not concerned? He asked his driver, he asked himself, I guess he consulted with his wife, and they said, no, there's no reason to be afraid. And Baruch Hashem, we go from one place to another, we feel safe, Baruch Hashem. So I encourage you all to come not only to visit, not only to show solidarity, but also to strengthen the Israeli economy that is going to suffer a lot from this war. This war, besides the price in lives, 1,400 people and maybe more, and we don't know yet what will be the final price. But in addition to that, we pay a financial price, a disaster in the economy. And every support that people come to visit and to help the Israeli economy is welcome. So I urge you all to come, to show interest, to pray, to be a part of the Jewish community here. And I want you to know one thing. It's once in a lifetime. Your parents maybe experienced that in Yom Kippur War. Your grandparents maybe experienced that in 1948 war. Usually, Israel gets along by itself. It doesn't need the American Jew. Today is one of the occasions that is once in a lifetime that Jews could show their responsibility and solidarity in a way that most probably will not repeat itself. So take advantage of it. That's once in a lifetime, and it's in your turn now. So feel responsible. I believe that it's a privilege to live in such an era in Jewish history, and it's a challenge and a privilege that comes with responsibility. And once Hashem is challenging us with this, it means that He gives upon our shoulders a lot of responsibility.
So those of you who have been listening to me for years, you can see obviously where a lot of my influence comes from. But we're going to be okay, Rav, correct? We're going to be okay.
The Jewish spirit will overcome and will defeat everything.
Thank you so much. Thank you for today. Thank you for everything that you do for Medina Yisrael, for Am Yisrael, for Klal Yisrael, for us. We look forward to everybody. November 11th. Make sure that you're in Shul that Shabbos. Chai Yisara. Mirza Hashem, Rav Stav is going to be with us. You can hear firsthand more about this, but we'll see you here next time as we're going riding. But now I'm not riding. I'm just riding with Itzik and the Rabbi. So have a good day. Thank you.